FinTech Reveals, where you're going to see the latest innovations and product releases from the third group that we're going to be hearing from. So up next, we have Bento Engine, Tolerisk, Precise FP, Snappy Kraken, and FP Alpha in this session. And as before, make sure you stay involved in the polls, the live chat, and make sure you vote for your favorite companies in the dedicated categories at the end of the session. Let's get it started. We are ready to welcome Philip Hecker, CEO of Bento Engine, to the stage. I am so excited to talk to Philip today, see what they're working on at Bento. It's always wonderful to run into you either in person or at our virtual event that I believe you are a running sponsor every year. Philip, how are you doing?
Doing great, Allison. Great to see you and the crew out there.
Great to see you. Well, I'm going to pass it over to you, and the stage is yours to tell us what you all are working on.
Thank you much. Hello, everyone. Philip here, co-founder and CEO of Bento Engine. Excited to spend the next few minutes with you on 3 objectives. Number 1, of course, I'll introduce you to Bento Engine, bring that organic growth engine to life for you all. And then we're thrilled to announce a brand new integration into our friends from Holistoplan. And I do want to end with a quick shout out to the Net Positive Consortium, a new wonderful initiative in our space. So with that, what is Bento Engine? Think of us as a combination of technology and content. Technology to surface next best action alerts, bit of a buzzword right now, in your CRM, alerting you of upcoming advice opportunities in the lives of your clients and prospects. Combine them with all the content that you need to execute with. And as I mentioned, we focus on moments that matter in the life journeys of your clients and prospects. You may wonder, what are these moments that matter? Well, meet the Jones family. Think of them as your typical client family, Jack and Jill, 2 teenage kids. And let's ask ourselves, over the next 10 years, how many of these moments that matter may the Jones family encounter? As you can see here, the Joneses will run into more than a dozen age-based milestones that will trigger distinct risks or opportunities, including this year, for example, Jill will turn 50 and be able to make catch-up contributions in her retirement accounts, and John will turn 14, being legally able to earn income, and then, of course, he can and should put that legally earned income into custodial IRA accounts under his name, so that John gets to enjoy the power of tax-deferred compounding for decades to come. In addition to these powerful and important age-based milestones, guess what? Life will happen. There will be a number of life events for the Joneses. For example, buying a new home, moving to a new state, selling a home, getting married, having a child, going off to college, and so on. You can see for one client family alone, 30 plus moments that matter in store for them for the next 10 years. So what we did at Bento is we developed 3 advisory programs that help you, their client-centric advisor, to reach out with personal, timely, and impactful advice. The 3 content programs are on top here, Life in Numbers, focused on 15 distinct age-based milestones. At the bottom, we have life events, getting married, divorced, moving to Florida, all that good stuff. And at the top left here, we have Children and Wealth, a wonderful opportunity to connect with G2 or G3 of your client family from very early on and helping them with their financial literacy journey. On the tech side, here is how Bento works. You as the advisor continue to use your CRM as is. We integrate into these 9 fine systems you see listed here, including Redtail, Wealthbox, Salesforce, and so on. No new system for you to learn. No new login. No new app on your workstation. You probably have too many already. All we do is via API connect to the back end of the CRM. There, our advice engine constantly scans your entire book of business to identify upcoming advice opportunities. When we find one, we pull the right content from our proprietary content library, and then very proactively, we alert you in the CRM and we give you compliance pre-approved content to execute with. On that note, let me show it to you all in the flesh. I am toggling over into a Salesforce environment. To note, the advisor experience is the same, be it in Retro, Wealthbox, Practify, Accelerate, whatever you might be using. It's Monday morning, after your third cup of coffee, you fire up your CRM and you're going to your task list or your activities list. As you can see here, some of the tasks have nothing to do with Bento, everything to do with your regular course of business. But then you also see these age-based milestones, these life events, these children wealth alerts. Those were indeed piped by Bento into your CRM overnight, alerting you of upcoming advice opportunities. If, for example, you don't want to advise Tim Barr on how to think about Medicare as he's approaching age 65, no problem. You simply delete the task, move on with your day. However, if catch-ups for Janet catches your eye, Janet is a great client of yours, you haven't spoken to her in a while, then you follow this link to this standard alert structure. The structure is always the same. Hey, your contact is about to experience an important life event or moments that matter. In this case, being able to make catch-up contributions. In case you haven't advised on this topic yet, now would be a good time. And then we give you links for compliance pre-approved materials for you to execute with, coming in multiple formats. So if your client, Janet, is a visual learner and you want to share a PDF, you follow link number 4 and hopefully a PDF opened up for you on catch-up contributions, always covering the what, the why, and the how, and keeping everybody safe. To note, as laws and regulations change, we quickly update the materials so that our clients can serve their clients with the latest and greatest. Not everybody is a visual learner. In case your client would rather have a conversation, in that case, you follow link number 2 and access the talking points version of the advice, which help you to frame the conversation and then spoon feed to you the key messages to relay in an impactful dialogue on the topic at hand. If you want to get things going via email, you follow link number 1. And real quick, for every topic, we have internal use only advisor FAQs. Think of these as a cheat sheet for your back pocket. So if you need to brush up on what are, catch-up contributions again and how do they work, then you use these internal training materials, our most technical documents, organized in simple FAQ style. And if your eyes are very good here, our subject matter experts always cite the underlying text code so that everybody can backtrace what the advice is actually based on. There you have it. That's Bento Engine in a nutshell for you. Deep integration into the CRM, making that key system work harder for you and your clients, enabling you to lead with personal, timely, impactful advice during moments that matter. I'm toggling back over into the PowerPoint to wrap up our story. In terms of proof points for Bento, we're thrilled to report that we keep on getting great recognition from the industry. ROI is very positive for our partner firms. Don't just take my word for it, but perhaps hop onto YouTube and type in Bento AUM growth to hear it from some leading advisors themselves. There are other benefits too around consistency of value proposition, on-the-job training, and ability to systematically connect with the next gen. If you're so inclined, if you're into podcasts, then Google WealthSpire and Bento. I'm going to wrap it up, at least Bento part of it, with a pricing offer. When you go to our website, bentoengine.com, you can see very transparent pricing in the pricing tab. It starts at $99 per seat per month. And if you sign up in November, you can use a special discount code, ATL15, to get a 15% discount. That was topic number 1. Real quick on the way out, a shout out. We are launching a Holistaplan integration. So if you are a premium user of that wonderful tax planning software, then you can activate Bento Advice in your age reminders. To do so, you have to go to the integrations page and enable the Bento integration in your Holistiplan system. If you want to learn more, check out bentoengine.com/Holistiplan or pop over to the virtual booth that we have going on at AdviceTech Live. In closing, my very last remark and shout out is to the Net Positive Consortium. A few weeks ago, like-minded wealth management firms made a positive pledge and launched a wonderful law organization called Net Positive Consortium. Learn about that effort at notpositivewealth.com. And with that, let me wrap it up with 3 calls to action. Number 1, pop over to the Bento Engine virtual booth to learn more and engage with our team. Leading with advice benefits everybody. Number 2, if you are a Holistiplan user, enable Bento in your age reminders for everyone's benefit. And number 3, check out the Net Positive Consortium, a wonderful resource that we want to grow. And with that, thank you all for leading with advice. And back over to you, Alison.
Thank you so much, Philip. Gosh, we are having a lot of integration announcements happening at AdviceTech Live this year, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to check out the Bento Holistiplan integration. That must be so exciting for you all.
Indeed, indeed.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here and showing how Bento Engine is helping support the advisor-client relationship as always. As Philip said, go check out the booth, pay attention to your polls today, and thank you so much for being here as always.
Great to be here. Fantastic to work with you all.
Okay, everybody, let's welcome to the stage Mark Friedenthal, founder and CEO of Tolerisk. Mark is a return sponsor, and we can't wait to see what Tolerisk is working on in the upcoming demo. Mark, thank you so much for coming back and joining us at AdviceTech Live.
Thank you so much for having me back, Allison. We're thrilled to be a part of AdviceTech Live for the 3rd year in a row. This year's theme, helping advisors deliver more human advice using technology, really strikes a chord with us. Tolerisk takes complex topics around risk and makes it much easier for advisors to make them meaningful to clients. Our award-winning technology empowers individuals to make the best financial decisions and instills the confidence to stick with their financial path. After all, confident clients not only avoid behavioral mistakes, but become advocates, driving retention and referrals for advisors. Stay tuned for a peek at our latest technology, including a huge announcement. For decades, legacy client risk profiling was detached from the financial planning process because these exercises were just profiling the client's personality. They didn't incorporate the client's financial data, so they couldn't measure the client's financial ability to take risk. The results were nebulous categories like moderate or aggressive, or they used some proprietary scoring scale that clients didn't really understand either. Few clients had confidence in the results, thus leading to behavioral mistakes and a reduction in conversion, retention, and referrals. Tolerisk incorporates the client's financial data so you can accurately measure their financial ability to take risk over time, compare it with their willingness to accept risk, and view it on a standard stocks to bonds benchmark scale so it's super easy for the client to understand. Not only does this drive the highest levels of client engagement, but this data-driven process is fantastic for reducing compliance risk. The first step in Tolerisk's 2-dimensional process is a psychometric profile, so we can measure how risk-seeking to risk-averse someone is. This is a psychology exam that compares the client's responses to a large population who's taken the same exam and plotting her on a bell curve behind the scenes. It's imperative that the exercise is easily understood by every client. Here we see a series of multiple choice questions about how Jill feels, thinks she compares to others, believes others identify her, and how she thinks she behaves. Her responses allow you to measure her willingness to accept risk. For this couple, James and Jill Smith, you can collect separate responses to these questions or one collaborative response. This exercise can be done live with the client or by sending a link home for the client to respond on their own. In the second dimension, we incorporate the client's financial data to mathematically measure their financial ability or capacity to take risk. Here's where Tolerisk shines. Our process is versatile, accommodating basic information or detailed insights based on unique circumstances. Integration with your favorite financial planning tools, custodians, reporting tools, and CRM streamline this process, making it efficient and client-friendly. By analyzing the client's financial chronology, we can objectively measure their mathematical ability to take risk, not only now, but over time as it evolves. The ability section can be kept very simple and high level with only 4 required fields, or if the client situation is more complex, Tolerisk provides lots of flexibility to go as deep as you need to go. Note the large near-term withdrawal towards the purchase of a property will likely reduce the Smith's ability to take risk until they get past this event. Some clients may be best served doing the risk assessment together with their advisor. Others may prefer it if you send them a link and let them answer simple questions at home. When you include this ability section in the link, it spoon feeds the client one question at a time, creating a consumer-friendly experience. You might even find that a hybrid process works best for some clients. And integration with your favorite financial planning applications provides another easy process for data collection. While Tolerisk provides you a framework for an objective, repeatable, and documentable process, it does not replace your dialogue with the client. If Jill's the primary decision maker, you might set the cap at Jill's willingness score, or it could be a spouse, an average of the two, or for the ultimate flexibility, you can enter a manual override. Just be sure to document why this was done for your compliance purposes. Tolerisk goes beyond the immediate. We incorporate mortality probabilities year by spouse, accounting for the uncertainty in a client's lifespan and resource needs. It's not just about today's risk, it's about planning for an uncertain future. The heart of Tolerisk lies in translating complex mathematics into simple, impactful outputs. Clients want answers to common questions. How much investment risk should we take now? What's the likelihood that one or both of us outlive our money? Since clarity in communication is paramount, Tolerisk uses an industry-standard scoring scale of a broad stocks-to-bonds benchmark. So a Tolerisk score of 40 indicates an appropriate risk level of a diversified 40-60 portfolio. Here, there's a 13% probability that James or Jill Smith or both would be alive after their money is gone. You may want to show the client both dimensions of risk tolerance. Here we see that their ability to take risk is the clear constraint right now. This is not surprising considering the large near-term withdrawal they plan to make towards their real estate purchase. As we understand that financial circumstances evolve, Tolerisk projects how a client's financial ability to take risk will change over time. 65 is the average of their willingness scores and serves as the cap. Their ability is a 40 this year when they're distributing $500,000 from their portfolios soon. After this, we see their ability to take risk goes way up, in fact, above their willingness to accept risk, at least for a while. A fiduciary risk assessment will always pay deference to both dimensions of risk tolerance. Real-world decisions involve more than just overall risk. They involve where to take risk. Here we see that James and Jill should have a very low risk level in their taxable accounts, since this year's huge distribution will come from these accounts instead of their retirement accounts, which should have the most risk, given that it's much longer term money. The funded level chart is a huge favor for your working clients. Here we see the portion of the client's total future expenses that are already funded today, and how each subsequent year they work, they're funding more and more of their future. James and Jill are expected to be fully funded for retirement when James is 67 years old. If they'd like to retire 3 years earlier, they are 90% funded, which means to be fully funded when James is 64, they'd have to reduce their retirement lifestyle by 10%. This is a powerful illustration of where the client is on their retirement journey when they reach the finish line and the trade-offs in lifestyle for an earlier or a later retirement. There's a lot more you can show your client. You can build and assess allocation models with as few or as many risk levels as desired. Tolerisk can be used to select a specific model or even interpolate between them if you prefer. With Tolerisk's enhanced portfolio comparison tool, advisors can now compare a client's Tolerisk score with up to 4 accounts or a proposed portfolio. This allows for a comprehensive assessment of how each portfolio aligns with the client's risk tolerance. With our portfolio analytics capabilities, you can build and analyze portfolios for clients and see not only their Tolerisk score expressed on the standardized benchmark equivalent scale, but also 20-year historical returns, max drawdown, Sharpe ratio, and 12-month dividend yield. Feel free to share your models with other advisors on your team. You can even create accounts or groups of client assets with custom risk directives that you'll measure and monitor against actual risk. Tolerisk's notes section lets advisors add any custom notes they want to memorialize in this risk assessment, such as a major decision around risk incorporated into their IPS. Plus, our newest AI feature, Tolerisk takes all of the data as well as computed outputs and creates a written narrative summary. Advisors select the type and tone, and the AI creates a personalized, ready-to-share explanation, saving time and improving communication. Finally, once you've examined your client's risk assessment results, you can curate the desired content in the PDF report designed for your specific client and your compliance folder. Additionally, Tolerisk integrates with many of your favorite technologies, with more and more underway each month, allowing you to analyze client data seamlessly. Empowering advisors to best serve their clients is our priority. For this reason, Tolerisk provides marketing resources for your wealth management and planning services, as well as your retirement plan services. We are thrilled to announce the two-way data integration between eMoney and Tolerisk. This unique integration furthers our mission of integrating client risk profiling and financial planning. If you are an eMoney user, you will not want to miss this. Plus, as one of our valued partners, eMoney users will receive a discount on any Tolerisk subscription. Tolerisk doesn't just profile clients and portfolios. It transforms the human engagement between advisors and clients. Our innovation drives amazing advisor-client experiences. This is why our user ratings consistently beat the legacy tools, and we are the all-star in the risk profiling category. You've just seen a glimpse of how Tolerisk helps advisors empower clients to understand risk and confidently navigate their financial journey. For more information, visit our virtual booth at AdviceTech Live and schedule a private demonstration. Alternatively, you can reach out to us, sales@tolerisk.com. Thank you so much for having me in for your time.
That is a very exciting announcement. I was a very proud and longtime employee of eMoney back in the day, so I am super excited for the Tolerisk team, and I cannot wait to see what that integration brings as far as risk tolerance along with financial planning software. Congratulations. That's very exciting.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for being here. That was a great presentation, and I couldn't agree more on especially how you all are supporting advisors with the marketing efforts along with risk. Really, really great presentation. Thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you, Allison. I appreciate you having me.
I am really looking forward to introducing Nora Gallegos, a financial planning thought leader over at Precise FP, one of our very valued tech partner integrations that we have here at AssetMap. How are you doing, Nora?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's so good to see you, and I'm so happy to have you here. I'm going to pass it over to you to show off what you all have going on over at Precise FP. I can't wait to see it.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for taking some time out to join us today. I know that we are all looking to be more efficient, and today's conversation is all about human connection. So you want to be really strategic when you're adding technology into your process. And it's kind of like the paradox of choice where you're like, wow, there's so much technology available and I can bring it in here, I could bring it in there. And it's kind of just a matter of sifting through all of those options and finding the one that's going to work best for you, your firm, your clients, your office. So with Precise FP, primarily what we're going to be doing is data gathering. So right off the bat, you're probably thinking data gathering is essential for onboarding on clients. So when you think about, making a plan with AssetMap or adding somebody into your Redtail CRM, you're talking about sometimes hundreds of fields that you need to go ahead and gather for a client to say that you've successfully added them and start to build that financial plan. So what Precise FP is doing is it's taking all that process off of your plate and it's involving your client, inviting them into the platform in a perfect world scenario and allowing them to fill out their own information. So that way that good, clean data is going to go right from Precise FP into your financial planning software, into your CRM and make sure that you're eliminating that data entry. There's no, keying in information. There's no copying and pasting, and there's no human error that's happening. So that's what we're focusing on at PreciseFP. And I mentioned that right off the bat, you might think, wow, that's super valuable for onboarding. But here at PreciseFP, we also believe in that human connection element where we really want you to be communicating with your clients outside of just that annual review. So, if prospect A talks to prospect B, they can both say they had an amazing onboarding experience, but we want you to continue to conversate with them, continue to build that relationship with them, and continue to maybe even offer additional services that you think would be beneficial to them. So with PreciseFP, you can also see it valuable in regards to an annual review. If I'm coming into the office next week, you can send me a pre-filled fact finder and just tell me, hey, Nora, I can't wait for you to come to the office. Go ahead and give this a once over. And if anything is missing or incorrect, fill that out, and we'll be sure to talk about it in the meeting. And then you'll be able to update your financial planning software or update your CRM with that information. And then from there, if you are looking to add additional services for that client, maybe you want to start that conversation about estate planning or college planning. There's a ton of things that are pre-built in the system to go ahead and help you with that. So it's all about meaningful conversations. It's all about continuing that conversation. And a lot of offices will be using PreciseFP to qualify clients as well. So maybe you're, putting a lot of marketing efforts into driving traffic to your website. And now that all that traffic is there, you have to qualify those leads. So you can use PreciseFP to go ahead and qualify leads and then start that onboarding process. And I know a visual person, so we can jump into the system and show you exactly how it'll look and feel from your perspective, as well as from your investor's perspective. So I just want to ask you, are you finding yourself reaching out repeatedly to, gather information for your clients, whether that's their driver's license number, or maybe you need to grab their spouse's account balance? It really breaks that chain when you're having to continuously reach out to them and grab these items. So the idea with PreciseFP is to put everything that you need in one place. And I'm going to show you here a fact finder that I customized. This one is a template that I pulled from Redtail. So just to tell you about the Redtail template, there is more than 100 fields that will sync between PreciseFP and Redtail. So this optimized template is going to kind of coordinate with those fields. And then from there, you'll be able to slim this down, or you'll be able to add to it. So I went ahead and I customized this. I put my colors of our office. I put the font that we use. I put our logo. I put my headshot. I even put a nice picture of the Arizona sunset there because I live in Arizona. But if I go ahead and start this, you'll be able to see all of those fields here. Right off the bat, this Redtail optimized template didn't have alma mater or who can we thank for referring you. And I added those fields because those are kind of those relationship builder questions that I want to know in order to, maybe I want to talk about the latest football game when they call, and I'll mention their alma mater in there. So just going to scroll down here and show you how you can make things mandatory. In order to not run into that NIGO situation, we need to have a driver's license number on file. So I went ahead and made that one mandatory. So that way they have to fill that out in order to move forward. But you'll just notice here, I'll kind of scroll through and go page by page just to show you a sample of all of that information that you can gather. And you still want to be strategic here as well. You know, if you just met someone at lunch today, you might not want to send them this entire, book of fields. Instead, you might create a condensed version or use one of the pre-built ones to go ahead and start that, information gathering and then build from there. Because when you build the next one, you could pre-fill it and they can continue to give you more and more information. But you'll notice here, you can ask clients to upload statements, upload their tax return, upload their 1099. You can give them things to download and prove that document download. We can go ahead and go through. I like to show here that in this one, I'm sending my client one link to gather that data that I need, but I also put the risk tolerance questionnaire in here, and I can even, put in their, ask them to put in their signature, and then I could even put my calendar in here as well. So the idea here is using one link to go ahead and gather that information and maybe get that risk tolerance score as well as schedule a meeting. So I know that was a lot of information today, but make sure that I'll go ahead and ask to switch to the slide very quickly because I do have some information here on what I want you to do next. If you're interested, if you think that Precise FP can be valuable to your office, make sure that you click the I'm interested button and we'll be sure to be in contact with you. Make sure that you vote for Precise FP as the industry disruptor and visit our booth. If you visit our booth, we're going to have an exclusive promo code for you. So that way you can go ahead and start our free trial. You get a 14-day free trial. With that promo code, it will be discounted for the lifetime of your subscription. Add yourself in as a client, see how you like that information gathering process, and see how it can be valuable to your office. But otherwise, thank you all so much for your time today. I'll hand it back over to Allison, and we look forward to seeing you at the booth.
Thank you so much, Nora. It is great to have you here. And I mean, I can speak firsthand of how great Precise FP does when it comes to data gathering and helping advisors move data to their most important spots to make sure that they're efficient and also, doing what's most important to them, which, like we've been saying throughout the event, is spending time with their clients and really maximizing their efficiency. And honestly, no one does it better. So thank you so much for showing us what you had to say today. And Nora had a great reminder. Make sure you vote for your favorite companies here this week. And certainly Precise FP should be on that list. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, I am pretty sure that our next speaker, Robert Sophia, founder and CEO of Snappy Kraken, was in kind of that first group of people that Adam ran this whole AdviceTech Live idea by 4 years ago, our first event, and you were one of the inaugural speakers. Is that true, Robert?
It is true. Yes.
Well, it's wonderful to have you back for year 5, and I cannot wait to see what you have to show today. And I think I'm being honest with the audience that you have some sneak peeks coming up.
We do. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to walk you through just a few slides to explain the strategy behind the technology that you're about to see, because what good is technology if it doesn't reinforce the right things? And we've always focused first and foremost when it comes to marketing on the relationship, the human relationship. This is a people business, so we have to start there. The marketing is really just to enrich the relationship, and the right technology should help you do that at scale so that you can drive more growth through the right kind of people. The way that we help do that is with a combination of technology, automation, and content. So the way this works is we identify the prospects, we identify the opportunities, we serve the right content to them, we pull them in from multiple channels, all designed to help you get noticed. You see, that's where it all starts. Identify you as an advisor they may want to work with, ultimately opt in. So now you have their name and phone number and a way to communicate with them, and then nurture them so that they want to talk to you and actually have a dialogue. There's where you forge the human connection more with them. You do what you do as an advisor, and then we meet and exceed their expectations with great communication afterward. So you can create raving fan clients who refer you, and those referrals are now eyeballs on your brand. So this is what we call the advisor growth flywheel. We use technology and content to accelerate this flywheel, to make sure that you're getting noticed more often, growing your audience, turning those people into clients, and turning the clients into referral sources. Snappy Kraken, because of this strategy, is helping firms grow 7 times faster than the industry average. So we work with over 4,000 firms, over 7,000 advisors, over 200 enterprises, and our advisors are growing faster. Now, to show you the way that we're helping empower this strategy with technology, let's dive right in. Now, what you're looking at here is something that every advisor who uses Snappy Kraken gets, which is a view of all their marketing in one place. Now, if you're on our Done For You program called Freedom 360, we're going to be populating this calendar with all your marketing activity. Or if you have an enterprise that uses our product, they may be populating your calendar with this activity, or you may be adding it yourself. But either way, you get a full view of all your marketing in one place, and you can go and see at any given time what's scheduled. So for example, here's an email set to go out today. Now, when you see an item on your marketing calendar, you have the ability to immediately go in and edit this item. So your marketing's here, it's ready to go, but now let's make it your own. Let's say that maybe you just would like to personalize the tone of this a little bit. Any campaign, no matter how complex it is, will appear like this, ready for you to edit the individual elements, landing pages, lead magnets, social posts, emails, anything like that. And so you just click on the edit button, and it's going to open that up for you to use our drag and drop builder and our on-page editing tools to make this content your own. So the research is already done, the writing is already done, but let's just say you decide you want to add a heading right here. All of this is also integrated with OpenAI. So if I say, stay invested with not a good typer, the long term in mind, and I know that's not a great headline, I can use AI, immediately see, let's see, I want to see what options this gives me here. And here are 4 or 5 options. I can change the tone. You get the idea. All of this can be done with images, with text, right here to make the content personalized if desired. Now, as you look at this calendar and all this content is being deployed for you, you may wonder, what's the purpose of it? How is it performing? And that's where the Marketing Hub's opportunity feed comes in. So we call this the Marketing Hub because everything you need to manage your marketing is right here. Your digital marketing campaigns, your text message marketing campaigns, your website, all flowing into one place. As these opportunities are being nurtured and engaged with, and as they're coming in from your website and your mailers and your advertising and all your sources, we're evaluating the quality of these leads. And we're looking and seeing, are they engaged? And you'll notice right here, you can see if a new form comes in, a new lead, where did it come from? What topic are they interested in? And then scored them based on how engaged they are with your content. So you're seeing your best opportunities. Let's just take an example here. Anthony was interested in end-of-year tax opportunities. So he opted into this campaign. You have the ability to email Anthony, text Anthony, or add him to one of your campaigns right here, all with a click. So here's a highly scored lead that just came in. But let's see if we can learn a little more. When I click on the link to subscribe him to a campaign, it pulls Anthony into a contact record. And I want to show you some really amazing things about this contact record that yours probably doesn't have right now because this is a new feature. You'll see right here it says that he's been enriched. Well, we're now using Catchlight, which you may or may not be familiar with, but it's a data enrichment tool for advisors, to pull in the information on these new contacts. So now I can see right away, here's Anthony. He's the CEO of a software company. Anthony has a Catchlight score of 86. Here's his investable asset range. Here's his income range. Here's his estimated home value. And here's the date that I enriched this contact. So now I see, wow, okay, Anthony, here's what he's been doing. Here's how he's been engaging with all my content. Here's the campaign that he opted into. It was on tax opportunities. And I know he's a high net worth investor. Now, I may not want to pick up the phone and call Anthony right away, but let's say I want to nurture him some more. I can just go here, click on campaigns. I know Anthony's high net worth. So let me just see what I've got for high net worth. Perfect. Here's an 8-week prospect nurturing campaign that is now going to go to Anthony, an email a week for 8 weeks, designed to drive him to request an appointment with me as the advisor. Now, I could do other actions too, but there's a quick example. But let me do something else. Let me just say, hey, Anthony's a good high net worth prospect, so I'm just going to click here and add him to my high net worth prospects group. So now this is building a marketing profile on Anthony. Over time, the marketing tailored to Anthony will get smarter and smarter based on this data. And Anthony will continue to engage, and at the right time, he will be surfaced here again for you to take action on. Let's say that it's time to take a more personal action, and I click on Text Anthony. Now, you may know a lot of firms are getting smacked with big fines for off-channel text communications. This is a compliant texting platform. And as you can see, right away, I have the ability to start a message with Anthony, and this will feed in, as you can see, just like any iMessage or other solution. So everything is flowing in for you in the conversation 2 ways. So right away, I have the ability to engage, send videos, send additional content, message with the prospect right here compliantly if I wanted to continue the conversation that way. Or I can email Anthony. So as you can see, you're getting these options. You've got the option to choose how to engage, when to engage, what content to engage with, how to make that content your own. And these are just a few examples in the short time we have. Let's go back to our slides for just a minute, because now that you've seen the Marketing Hub, I want to show you a sneak peek of an innovation that's coming in a future release. Right here, you can see AI will automatically generate a personalized message for this person and feed their AUM right here into this opportunity for you. So when you log in every day, you get to see your highest and best opportunities, your most engaged clients, your most engaged prospects, their enriched data, and you're given specific actions to take that's personal to that person, not canned, not blasted, but personal to them. So that's a really exciting innovation that you'll be seeing soon. I also want to mention what you saw today was very simple, but behind the scenes, there's numerous integrations. There's, in fact, Snappy Kraken is one of the most, if not, it is the most integrated marketing technology platform on kitces.com. So we've got all kinds of integrations you can activate, coordinate your email, your website, your landing pages, your social media, your direct mail, your lead sources that you're purchasing, and get them all flowing through this system so you can automatically build these relationships at scale. Very complex marketing, but greatly simplified. Also, if you are a firm that has 5 or more advisors, you can use our enterprise software, and you can do this on behalf of advisors. Going in, taking one of these campaigns, customizing it for all your advisors, hitting publish, and having it distributed down to all your teams. You can impersonate their accounts and manage an entire marketing program for 5, 10, or even 500 advisors, all from one centralized platform where you can also build your own custom content. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Snappy Kraken outperforms all of our competitors. In fact, publicly available data from this year published on the performance of what is often considered to be the biggest marketing platform in our space versus Snappy Kraken's marketing. You can see the advantage is significant, 5.7 times more, outperforming our competition. So if you want to try Snappy Kraken, get a tool that really drives growth. Here's a QR code. I will waive your setup fees to come to Snappy Kraken. It won't cost you anything to get started, and that in itself is a huge deal. So we hope we can work with you.
Wow. It's always about the little details with me, and you guys nail the details every time. The one thing that really stood out to me, other than your great new announcement and anything personalized when it comes to advisor marketing, is the best. But when you talk about compliant texting, even the part that you're doing that in the system looks like almost like it mirrors a phone, which to me it resonates, right? People know how to use it. It's seamless, amazing stuff as always. Thank you so much for being here, Robert. And please go visit the Snappy Kraken booth and take advantage of that great promo that they're running as well.
Thank you, Allison. It was fun.
Thank you so much. Up next, Brad Frey from FP Alpha. He is the head of enterprise sales. He is also a previous coworker of mine who I am super excited to see here today to tell us all about what FP Alpha is working on. Brad, how are you doing?
Awesome, Allison. Good to see you as always.
Good to see you. You're up and ready to go whenever you're ready.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. And thanks to the entire Asset Map family for having us as part of this presentation. You guys have been doing this for a while, so it's really a pleasure and a great way to reach a ton of folks in the audience. So the FP Alpha story is really interesting. Andrew Altfest is our founder. And he also happens to be an advisor, just like Adam, right? And I think it's a really interesting story. Andrew was struggling. His clients were asking for more and more from him when it came to more complex planning. People were asking for income tax help, estate help, insurance reviews. And as an eMoney user himself, he found that it was very difficult for him to help his clients in those areas. I think the biggest thing, Allison, was having to really go through and read everything that the client currently had in place today. That was really the biggest challenge for him. And of course, here we are with the power of AI. FP Alpha is about 5 years strong, 4.5. And we are really helping advisors of all walks of life to do more complex, more advanced planning. We are not looking to displace or replace the traditional planning tools. In fact, we do integrate with a lot of those tools as well. We integrate with pretty much the top 3 CRMs, Money Guide, eMoney, Right Capital, Nitrogen, Orion. I know you're not seeing the eMoney and Right Capital names on here, but with our friends from Precise FP, who I know are part of this as well, they've helped us get that data from eMoney and Right Capital into this tool. Now, again, we try to pick up the ball where the traditional tools tend to drop it, and they tend to drop it when the conversations get more complex. If you want to help your clients with more tax help, all you need to do is give us a PDF of that tax return, upload it into FP Alpha, and we'll take it from there. We will visualize it for you. We will offer insights, and we will also help you simulate what some changes in those situations are. So we just, again, need a PDF of that return. You drag and drop it right here, place it right into the tool, and we will visualize it for you in what we call a snapshot format. I'll go through this very quickly together. This is our version of the snapshot. Know that everything in here is white labeled with the firm's logo and their own custom disclaimer. So you can see here that we have a married filing jointly client. They own a business. We're looking at their tax brackets, their tax rates, their cap gains losses, their income in a numerical and visual fashion. We visualize their tax brackets. We also show you their deductions, itemized and standard, charitable contribution deductions as well. Their Magi tiers and where they sit in those income tiers. We do a great QBI analysis for business owners. We really help start the Roth conversion conversation. We have a great simulator, but this shows you where they are in their current tax bracket. Medicare premiums, aka IRMA, always a hot button item. Estimated tax safe harbor. Schedule B, great place to uncover held away assets. And we finish it up with some great additive educational material on their tax credits for their state of residence, and some other good stuff on LTC, HSA, Social Security, and finally, any legislation in place like Secure Act 2.0. After the tax snapshot, we will offer recommendations or insights on how to improve in that situation. The idea is for the advisor to go through these insights and pick and choose which ones actually matter to the client, and then add them to what we call our task manager. Our task manager happens to sync out of the box with Redtail and Salesforce, all the different versions of Salesforce as well. So a nice out-of-the-box integration, integrating right with your CRM, which is typically the most widely used tool at a firm. And finally, inside of tax, we have a couple great simulators. We can help with the Roth conversion conversation, and we also have a great tax projector tool. Real quick highlights on the Roth conversion simulator. We have an optimizer built into it. We also can simply fill up a tax bracket if the advisor wishes to, and we can allow them to create their own ad hoc experience. So we have multiple scenarios built into this tool, and we have probably the most detailed data that I've ever seen in a Roth conversion simulator. You can see we give you up to 12 columns of data, and you can see it's a very interactive chart as well. Finally, again, any tax tool must have a tax projector tool. Any tax module must have a tax projector tool. You can see that we have that tax projector tool built right in. You can do up to 4 side-by-side scenarios. This tax projector tool allows you to model what it would look like for a client to move from one state to the other, exercise stock options, sell their business, all sorts of things. Income tax planning going forward is incredibly important. And again, the traditional planning tools have not done a really good job in this particular area for advisors. That is our tax module. Let's jump into the estate module. And what I want to highlight real quickly here is tax and estate are some of the most desired services by clients right now. If you guys go look at the Spectrum Group study on the advice gap, you will see proof of that. A lot of clients want this help, and advisors really should be doing it. The hard part about, especially on the estate side, is you could be really reading a lot of the documents, the wills, the trusts. It's very difficult to get through those and then create some sort of ad hoc presentation. Well, no problem here. Give the wills, the trusts, the POAs, the healthcare directives to us, and we will visualize them for you in a much easier to read format that we call a snapshot. That snapshot looks just like this. And again, downloadable as their own PDF, white labeled with the firm logo and disclaimer. We give you an inventory of the documents that you gave us. We show you the client's family tree. We show you who's listed in the current documents. Sometimes people may want to replace these folks. Wills, trusts, POAs, and healthcare directives. Notice, is it springing or not, governing law? And we break down the flow of the estate, which is really the holy grail. Most clients don't understand what their documents are doing right now. So this is a great way to visualize exactly what is happening in those current documents. We will then offer insights and ideas on how to improve in their overall estate situation, just like tax. These are great things to help connect with the COI, the Center of Influence, with the estate planning attorney, and make sure that they are taking care of the client's wishes exactly the way that they want them. So you can view all these and again, pick and choose which insights, recommendations that they want to work with the estate planning attorney. Now, finally, in estate as well, we do have our lab. The estate planning lab is very, very popular. This is where we do integrate with a lot of the great traditional planning tools, Precise FP, Nitrogen, Orion, where we can pull in the data from those tools to build the client's profile, their general questionnaire, their fact finder, if you will, which allows us to build out a beautiful balance sheet for the client, showing their estate breakdown, what's in the estate, what's outside of the estate. And then we can then help the advisor build out the client's flow chart. Notice what's happening down below as well. When we pull the assets in from our integration partners, we will calculate down to the dollar what the client's current estate tax impact is right now if nothing else changes. Obviously, we don't want this client to have a $1.7 million bill. What can we do to help improve that overall situation? This is where you can implement strategies on how to improve. We have the ability to build a trust out of thin air. Revocable, irrevocable, really doesn't matter. An AB, ABC, disclaimer trust, whatever type of strategy. For this particular one, we built out an islet. You can do slats, dynasties, all these incredible estate planning concepts and, to help improve their overall situation. And now being able to show the advisor and the client, we can turn on, again, these strategies. Again, we're going to show the assets. We've got that current, estate bill. Let's turn on one of these strategies and see what we can do to that overall estate tax impact. Right now, they were at 1.7, brought them down to $1 million. Again, a quick way to show a client what possibly a new trust concept could do to their overall estate. One of the big things that we really like to help advisors with, obviously it's a huge efficiency play. Number two, retaining those assets when something happens in the family. And we've heard of several clients, several of our advisors winning very large new clients with FP Alpha especially in the lab. One really good story of an advisor winning a $100 million client. So that is the estate module. Finally, we do help with the protection story as well. Utilizing artificial intelligence, we can use AI to read homeowner, auto, overall umbrella policies. Those policies can be read by AI, and we'll visualize those for you very easily, show you exactly where the client sits and where there might be some gaps in their current coverage. A lot of advisors are really big on the protection story, and this is a great way to help them out. I want to thank you guys all for being on our demo today. Really appreciate it. You got a quick snippet of the FP Alpha story and exactly how we're helping advisors with specialized and advanced planning. Please make sure to come to our website, contact us and request a demo right through our website if you'd like to see a more detailed demo personalized to your firm. And Allison and everyone at Asset Map, I want to thank you guys so much for your time and allowing us to be a part of AdviceTech Live.
Thank you so much for being here again, Brad. And I think you said it perfectly with, clients really, this is the information they want. This is what they want to talk to their financial planners about. And you all had just a fantastic solution. So thank you so much for being here again. Go visit FP Alpha's booth and see what they're all about there and connect with Brad if you have any questions. Thank you so much again for being here.
Thanks, Allison.
Thank you so much to our tech sponsors for giving an amazing presentation in that group. Be sure to vote for your favorite companies using the awards option in the sidebar. And you're going to want to vote on these categories, so keep it in mind. Community impact, industry disruptor, and rising tech star for those new companies as well. Voting is going to happen within each of the demo groups, and 3 awards are going to be given out at the end of the event. So be sure to stay tuned for that as we wrap up.